Hello! Today I wanted to make a video on double eyelids again because I still get a lot of questions on the topic of double eyelids, and I thought I would just make a general overall video to answer a lot of those questions that many of you have been asking, and so that way it would be easier for people to get answers. What exactly is a double eyelid? A double eyelid is the crease that you have in your eyelid. As you can see, I have small double eyelids, and some people may not have it. Some people have bigger ones, some people have tapered ones like the ones I have, because the beginning is sort of hidden inside. It starts like single and then it becomes double, sort of, or like the corner folds. And then there are the parallel kinds where your crease would start right at the top and it doesn't fold inwards in the beginning, so that would be a parallel crease. A lot of Asians have tapered creases like I do, and a lot of us have monolids. It's not bad to have monolids. It's great if you have double or single. It doesn't matter. It's really personal preferences. A lot of people ask me, why do you want double eyelids? Because I want my makeup to show up better, because I just think it's easier to work with cosmetics that way. I don't mind having a single lid, but I just prefer double eyelids. And by no means am I trying to offend anyone out there who have monolids or double lids or whatnot. It's just really personal preferences. I'm not trying to be Caucasian, because I don't look anything Caucasian just by having eyelids or having double eyelids, right? So it's nothing of that nature. It's just something that I personally am interested in, and hopefully you guys can understand and respect that as well. So without further ado, let's continue with the different methods which you could use to achieve double eyelids if you were born with monolids, or if you just want to make them bigger or more even or anything of that sort. So with my personal story, I used to be monolided. I had no crease in my eyelids, and I used to have very, very fatty eyelids that were droopy and heavy. So it was very difficult for me to wear eyeliner, to wear eyeshadow, have it show up, because then it would be like this, and I would always look really angry because my eyelids would be really small and you would never be able to see eyeliner, and my lashes would always point straight down no matter how much I curl. So I was looking for ways to get double eyelids without surgery, because surgery, first of all, is intrusive, it's painful, it's artificial, whatever. But a lot of people resort to surgery because it's quicker, it is more effective, but I didn't want to go through the trouble of going under the knife and paying that much money. It could range from maybe $1,000 to $3,000, $4,000, depending on where you go. And of course, different surgeons would have different techniques and different experiences, and you might not get the exact result that you want. Excuse me. So surgery might not be a very good idea because it does have risks, and I didn't want to take the risk, and I didn't want to spend the money. So I thought to myself, why don't I explore and maybe find things that are more practical for me and my budget. So I found a lot of different methods to create double eyelids, actually, and I'm going to share with you a few ones that I thought were useful and at the same time were effective and affordable. So when you do have thick heavy lids that tends to not fold no matter what you do, it's easier to start off with a eyelid glue, and currently I'm using the iCharm double eyelid glue. You can get this off of eBay for like $1 or something. It's like super cheap, and you can double this up with, or you can use it as a lash adhesive as well. So I've been using it more for the lash adhesive, but you can use this as double eyelid glue, and I find that it is very effective. If I open it, you can see that it is like a little brush applicator, and it's just a white glue. I find that the white glues are more effective. They stick better and they last longer than, say, the clear double eyelid glue. A lot of people may assume that the clear would be more natural, but they're actually not as strong. So if you have thick eyelids, it might kind of just come undone really easily, and it doesn't last nearly as long as the white glue does. So I would recommend using a white eyelid glue, and what you would do is just when you start off, you don't want to make your crease too high, so you just want to take your little fork that comes with it, and you want to use the pointy end to kind of just get an idea of where you would want to place it. You don't want to place your crease as high as you would want it to begin with. Like I wouldn't do it like this, just because people with fatter eyelids tend to have a harder time getting their eyelids to stay even with glue. So you would want to start off lower, maybe 2 or 3 millimeters, and you just push in and you kind of get an idea of where it is, and then you put the glue on the line that you create where you pushed in, and then you push it one more time to create the to create the crease. So like I said, it's easier to start off lower. You want to start not too far from your lash line when you first begin, and then as your lids kind of stretch out a little bit more, you can move it up. And that's how I made my crease a little bit bigger, because in the beginning, if you make it really big already, then first of all, it might not stay. Second of all, your eyelids might get really droopy to the point that the line will not form. Like you see how I have like a line where the crease is? If that line doesn't form, then your eyelid would just be like wrinkly and droopy. So if you put it too high to start off with, it's not good. You want to start off low, and then once your eyelids become a little bit more not elastic, a little bit more like stretched out, I guess, you can move it up a little bit more. So with my experience, I started wearing eyelid glue when I was in like 7th grade. So that's, I don't even know, like many years ago. I started wearing eyelid glue when I was in 7th grade. I had both monolids, and they would be very like fat and like not like they were really thick. So like I said, eyeliner and stuff wouldn't show up, and I would just look really tired and angry all the time. So I started off with the method that I just described. I used a white eyelid glue, and I started off really small. Actually, I started off maybe like here, and I just made a very small crease. And believe it or not, it actually makes a big difference in just the overall appearance of your face, whether you have double eyelids or not. With that little crease, I was able to wear eyeliner and look more awake, less angry, and blah blah blah. But you might think I'm crazy, but it made me happier. So it's just really something I wanted to do for myself, So, and I'm sure you want to do it too, because otherwise you wouldn't be watching this video, right? So I started off low, and then I ended up getting one double eyelid on the left eye. So I had double eyelids on this eye about maybe a few months into wearing it, and it kind of stayed permanently. I didn't need to wear any eyelid glue or eyelid tape or anything for a long time, or like ever, because it kind of stayed on its own and I didn't have to do anything about it. And I was like, cool, I don't have to. So it is possible to get permanent eyelids without having to go under surgery. And I was so excited that I wanted to create the same crease on the right eye, but my right eye is a little bit different. I have thicker, or not thicker skin. I had surgery on my right eye when I was little because I had to get stitches here, and so my eyes were originally a little bit different to begin with. That's why the right eye didn't want to become double eyelids, and then it took me a few more years to get this to become permanent. So I guess it really depends on the person and the condition of your eyelids, whether it would come out sooner or later. But with persistent use of eyelid glue, eyelid tape, and all that stuff, it is possible. So I guess if you're someone that's really against getting surgery, then it is possible to get double eyelids without getting surgery and save a ton of money, but you would just have to invest in a little bit more time. I think it's totally worth it because I ended up getting, you can see, tapered double eyelids, and now I can wear eyeshadow and mascara and eyeliner like without having to worry that it might not show, without having to worry that I might look angry or stuff like that, you know. So to me it was well worth it, and I ended up, so nowadays I don't really have to wear tape or glue because they've become permanent. I don't have to do anything to them to make them stay. So yeah, let's get to the next method. So like I said, your eyelids will stretch a little bit with prolonged use of the eyelid glue, and it could be good and it could be bad, but give it a little bit of time, have some patience, because at first your eyelids are going to look a little bit droopier without the crease, but then once the crease forms, it'll look a lot better. Once your eyelids get a little bit more loose, you can start wearing less glue and more tape. So I have a few types of tapes here to share with you. This one is, I don't know if you can see, but this one, can you see that? I hope you can see that. But this one is a tape that is a little bit skinnier at the beginning and then wider at the end. So this will create like a tapered crease like the one I have. And with eyelid tape, something better about the eyelid tape that I would choose over the glue is that with the eyelid tape you can have eyeshadow and stuff put over it and still look fairly natural, but then if you have glue and you put eyeshadow over it, it might get a little bit gunky if you are not used to it. For me, because I wore the glue for so many years, it was okay for me to wear a little bit of makeup and still have fairly natural looking eyelids, but some people might not prefer it, so using the tape would be better in that matter. It would be a lot more suitable for eyeshadow and all that stuff. So I showed you the one with the that would create tapered creases, and then I have, so this one was like a clear, like a whitish clear tape. This one is a yellowish skin tone tape, and I don't know if you can see it, but I've peeled off some at the bottom, and this one is just like even on both sides. So this would create like a if you want to have parallel creases, this would create it for you if you already have small creases like I do. I'm sorry, like this video is sort of all over the place, but I'm trying to think as I go what people always ask me, and I'm just trying to get as much information as I can. So I have a friend who had small taper creases already, and she wanted to have parallel creases, so she used this kind of tape where it's like even on both sides, and it's just like a half moon shape. I don't know if you can see it. Ah, you cannot see it. Why? There. Oh, I don't know. You can Google or something eyelid tape. So she used the ones that are just like a little like strip that's even on both sides, and she used it for like a couple of weeks and she actually got tapered creases from just using the tape for a few weeks. So I was so amazed about it because I didn't think that that was possible to get double eyelids that quickly, but she did. She got tapered. She got from tapered to parallel creases in just a few weeks of using tape. So if you're one of those people who want to have bigger eyelids and you already have small creases, then you can try wearing tape for a while and see whether you can get it. So like I said, there's like the white kind, there's like skin colored type, tapered shaped, parallel shaped, and then there's these kind. These come in a roll. You can get them from any drugstore. It's in the medical tape section, and these are called the 3M transport tapes, and these they're fairly cheap. You can get them for a few dollars, and they really last forever. I've had this one for like 3 years and I still haven't finished it. With this though, you can just pull it out, and then I cut like this way because it's wide enough for my eyelid, so I just cut this way, and then I cut like a little strip and I use that. A lot of people prefer this way because they can cut the shape that they want rather than buying something that's already pre-cut like this. I like the pre-cut ones because I'm lazy and I don't like to cut tape, and sometimes when you use the tape that's cut yourself, the corners can get a little bit painful because if you don't like trim the corners right, it can get a little like prickly in the front. So I like to use the pre-cut ones, and the pre-cut ones are really cheap as well. You can get them on eBay for like $1, $2, $3, so super cheap. And with wearing tape, a lot of times when you look down, you can see the tape. Some tips I have for you guys to maybe hide the tape a little bit better is, first of all, you can resort to eyelashes. You see how this eyelash has like a darker band, and then when you do put it between the tape and your eye, it will kind of blend the corner of the tape a little bit better, so the tape is less visible. And also it will make the crease appear a little bit deeper because the eyelash has a little bit of a push in your eyelid. So a lot of the times if you have thick eyelids that will not budge no matter what, you can try wearing tape and then stick on a pair of lashes, and your crease should look a little bit more prominent. And I did that when I didn't want the tape to appear too obvious, but most of the days I really just didn't care. I just wanted my eyes to get double eyelids as quick as I can, so I didn't even care if people could see the tape or whatever, because it's something I want to do and I take pride in what I do, so I don't care if you think it looks weird. It's just something I like to do, so I didn't care. And a lot of people have trouble taking the individual pieces of tape off of the sheet. What I recommend is take a tweezer and dig the pointy part into the end of the tape and then just kind of pull with a tweezer, and it's a lot easier to take it out that way. Sometimes if you purchase on eBay, they give you one of these things to like pinch out the tape. I find these very ineffective because they're kind of just flimsy and don't do anything. I like to use metal tweezers. And another tip to make the eyelid tape less obvious is using eyeliner. Like I said, if you fill in the space between your tape and your lash line, it'll kind of blend out the edges of the tape and make it a little bit less obvious. So what you would do is then you would just fill in the space between the tape and the your lash line, like how you would draw your liner normally, but then just focus on, you know, filling in the gap between, and it will kind of just make it a little bit more natural. I like to use the liquid liner because it's longer lasting and it does a better job in, you know, I don't know how to describe this. It does a better job of like evening out the edges of the tape At least for me, I like to do that a little bit better. So for tapes like these, you can get on eBay for like less than $5, and they always come with more than 50 pairs, so you can find really good deals on that. And I would recommend buying tape that's skin color because it's less obvious, and the pre-cut ones are thinner, so they would look a little bit more natural. The 3M tape is a little thicker. It's good for people with thick eyelids, but it is a little bit more obvious. But again, if you're somebody like me that you don't care if it looks a little bit obvious, you just want to have the effect, then this one holds better. It pushes, or like it makes your eyelid fold better. These ones are a little bit more natural. And again, you can use lashes and eyeliner to make it less obvious. And with the glue, you always want to use the fork. You want to start off low, and then as your eyelid loosens up a little bit, you can progress and put it higher. And again, the glue is good for people who have thick eyelids, who have trouble getting their eyelids to fold, because when I had thick monolids, I really couldn't just wear like the pre-cut tapes like this, because they wouldn't really do anything. It would just kind of like stick on my eyelid and not even make a fold. So that was kind of pointless. So I started with the glue. I stretched out my eyelids a little bit, and then I started wearing tape, and I did that for God knows how many years. I did it for maybe like 3-4 years until I finally had like both eyelids permanently. And as we age, our skin gets saggier, we have less fat. So I guess that's one of the contributing reasons why my eyelids are staying better now, because they're less fat. So yeah, so I think with the prolonged use of tape, glue, and etc., it's highly likely you will get double eyelids without surgery. I'm not promising you that you will definitely get it, but for me, I did get it, and my friend who had tapered creases got parallel creases just from wearing tape. So there is hope. And what are some of the other questions that people were asking me? Let's see. Let's see. I don't know what else I can mention. I guess, oh, and to remove the eyelid tape and glue, excuse me. Oh, I've been sick for like the longest time. I don't even know how long I've been sick, but excuse me, sorry for coughing so much. To remove the eyelid tape and glue, you would just use any, eye makeup remover, soak it a little bit, and it should come right off without too much hassle. And oh, another tip: if you are someone with thinner eyelids like I am now, and you want your crease to be more prominent in the morning, you can try wearing tape or glue during the nighttime when you sleep, and then in the morning take it off or wash it off or remove it, however you do it, and the crease should be more prominent and it should stay all day long without budging. That's just something I do sometimes once in a while. If I drink too much water, my eyelids will get swollen, so I just tape it at nighttime, and then when I wake up I take it off, and it should be good to go for the rest of the day. And for the most part, I don't need to do anything to it to have them. And I made a blog post about my experience in more detail, because just by talking you won't see what I'm talking about with the shape of my eye before and after, etc. You can't tell a difference, but I've posted pictures that you can refer to and see how my eyelids have transformed. And hopefully this video helped those of you who had trouble getting double eyelids, or for those of you who are just curious about double eyelids. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.